Good afternoon and welcome to day 4 of the 2024 Vanora ENGADINWInd iQFOiL Under 23 World Championships here in stunning Lake Silvaplana, Engadin, Switzerland. So let me introduce me quickly. My name is Greta Marchegger and I'm joined in the booth here by Mr. Ali Masters, iQFOiL expert and actually also coach. So Ali, how's it going?
Oh, it's lovely to be here in Silvaplana. The Morloa wind is blowing. The light is amazing. The racing is already on fire, and it's been really nice to be here and see what's going on.
Definitely. I mean, it's exciting to be here. And let me tell you something. The excitement is really real, not only for us, not only for the spectators, but also actually for the riders out there. So let's have a look at the paddock this morning.
It's absolutely awesome. When it's windy, sunny, the life feels pretty amazing, especially when we can windsurf in this beautiful Lake Silvaplana with amazing water and amazing views around. You feel like a star for a moment because you're winning your race in a fleet for a moment, so it's something incredible that the training you've been putting out is now in the race.
Especially for me, I feel like it's really scary because I'm between the youngest people in the fleet. So it's pretty scary for me, and I don't know, it's just so excited. It's just amazing being in the middle of the fleet with a lot of people that I know they're good and trying to improve every single race, and it's a feeling that you can describe.
It feels so great to be racing here. Super nice, and the wind is super good.
Well, pretty scary because we are a lot, like we have 47 competitors, so it's really crowded on the starting line. It's not easy, but you have to find your place, and yeah, you hope for having the perfect spot on the starting line. Yeah, of course, it's amazing when you finish the races, and we have like tons of races. Yesterday we did 5 as well. So yeah, it's great, especially if you finish in a good position, obviously, but it's nice.
So when I'm in the water I feel amazing. The wind is always good here, like most of the time. It feels very fast in the lake and the scenery is amazing as well.
And this now we're on day 4 of the regatta. The previous days have all been qualifying towards the gold and silver fleets. We've currently done 9 races for both the men and the women so far, and those races, their scores have been topped up, and in the men we've selected the top 51 guys to go and race in the gold today.
Exactly. And I mean, everybody obviously wants to be in the gold fleet, that's for sure. Everybody wants to be qualified for Sandel's medal series. But actually, one guy got the very last place into today's gold fleet, and that's Geronimo Stevenson from Mexico. I mean, you had a catch up with him earlier this morning, right?
Yeah, he was quite nervous. You know, it'd been a difficult day so far, or yeah, difficult evening yesterday, stressing about the racing, but actually he's really keen to get out there and make the most of today.
So let's have a look onto today's chat.
Yesterday marked the final day of qualifying, with sailors looking for the gold fleet. Action was tight out on the water. After a really tough day 1, Sebastian Schara from Switzerland managed to get a solid set of scores on the board to bring him back into the gold fleet. From Estonia, Axel Harver, another tough day for him, but he, in leading race 3 yesterday, brought himself into contention. And rounding out the gold fleet, after a really composed day, the flying Mexican Geronimo gets in our final spot.
Pretty happy to make it to gold. The first day was not my best day. I was pretty unfortunate with 2 protests and having to break the new gear, but I had a great day yesterday and really excited to be in gold for the rest of the days coming up. Yeah, I came back here for rest after race number 3 and I saw the results and I saw that I was around the 52nd position and I just needed to climb 1 more position, so I was like, okay, keep calm, don't get protests, don't fall, and just try to have a good result.
Okay, and with the first selections of the event for Gold Fleet now complete, cut number 1 is done. This Gold Fleet, we're building up to the next selection point that we have for the top 10 riders to join the medal race series. It's all about being in that top 10 so we can progress to the quarter semi-finals and maybe even win this under-23 iQFOiL World Championships in IQ Games. Okay, we've got a variety, you know, we've got 12 guys waiting there already. The points are tight. It's incredibly close between them, and today could bring a lot of changes. But those front runners right now, you know, not so far behind is Bernard Thomas, you know, training partner of Nacho. He's on 37 points. Strong win today could be the one. Clement Bourgeois from Brest, big, strong, heavy man. He will be going full power. And then into the top 10. They're safe for now, but there's only 1 point. David Dreda from Czechoslovakia, and then the Italian takeover starts. Manolo from Garda, Eli from New Zealand. It's good to see he's come all this way with the help of Kieran Badlow coaching in preparation. And then the Italian domination continues. Fede Poloni, youth sailor. You know, Greta's incredibly pleased about this.
I mean, he just won the Youth Sailing World Championships in Garda last month, so, you know, I'm very not surprised to see him there.
And then we get to the real heavyweights of the fleet. These boys are big, strong. They've been putting in top results at the World Championships. You know, Finn Hawkins was 12. Michał Polak was just behind him. And then with Max Kassen and Joost Vink and their work with Luc van Opseiland in the last few months as he prepared for his Olympic medal, they're really on form. We've got Leonardo Tomasini. You know, him and Fede, it's really tight, but right now it seems like he's the man. But actually, the real man, the beast.
Standing out, Mr. Andy Brown. Oh my God. I mean, he's been training in Garda also before, you know, so it was good to see him there on the water, and now he's actually back and completely standing out here, that's for sure. So yeah, let's see what he's thinking about it.
I'm with fellow Brit and leader of the men's fleet right now, Andy Brown. He's had a top day, and after a difficult year, you know, or difficult few years, winning Palmer in 22, it's great to see him back at the front of the fleet. Andy, in the last like 6-8 months, what have you been focusing on that's helped you get back to where you are?
Yeah, it's been I had a tricky year of competing in 2023, just sort of been building up past that. Been doing a lot of coaching recently, coaching and sailing. I've been training hard, but I've been training differently, so I've changed up my training techniques and the way I train, and also my mindset into regattas, and it seems to be going well. This is an under-23 event, so there's going to be some bigger boys showing up come the Europeans, but I think I'm feeling good, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, I wouldn't want to count my chickens.
And today, the starting order, the women are going to be going first and the men going to be going second. So actually, the most important for us right now is the girls. They've also had 9 races so far. They do not split to the gold and silver, so there was no cup for them. But actually, the competition's on and the points are a little bit more separated, so we've got some front runners in the fleet, but anything could happen after 5 course races today. We've got from the Czech Republic down in 12th, Barbara. She's obviously just outside the cut right now. They're working towards that, and then we've got the massive French group. They've been
yes.
They've been training hard. Their coach Nico Hugo will be happy they're here, but also looking to push on. So in 11 we've got Marion Courtois, we've got Manon Pianazza, you know, top youth sailor and junior sailor. She's actually just inside. I think she's been playing a lot of volleyball and other sports this week, but still dominating the water. And then as we go up, we've got Lucy, the age and the experience of the team. I think she's just here keeping her skills nice and polished. And then just above her, Darcy Shaw, British youth girl, slowly on the climb. Her results yesterday, 14, 8, 6, 4, 1. To finish off. Actually, what will she bring today? Emma Milan from Estonia took 2 race wins, and then Lola Sorin maybe could have even been a bit higher, but had a massive crash to finish the day. So hopefully all her gear is back together and she's ready to smash it. Into the top 5. Back on form, Christine Pinisova from the Czech Republic. Really good to see her happy at this event, you know, and it shows on the water. And then at the top, these girls have been dominant, you know. Their nation, some of the very top in the seniors, and they've been supporting all the way. And in 4th, we've got Tuva Opedal from Norway, and tightly, very close together, the Israeli girls, Daniela Peleg and Tamar Steinberg. They are both very young still. Well, all 4 of these are young. I think they're under 20 only, so
yeah,
they've got a few more years
incredible.
than under 23, but they are already dominating. And we've got a clear leader right now in Maya Geisler.
Oh yes, I mean, we've been talking to Maya yesterday, straight when she came off the water. She was super happy, super stoked, and she also said it's very tough on the water. You know, the level is so high. The girls are all so fast, but I mean, she's basically showing everybody how it's done.
Yeah, Hi, I'm with Maya Gusle from Norway. She's our current leader of the women's fleet. Maya obviously has had a great year so far. She was in the medal race in Lanzarote, was on the podium in Parma, and then has been supporting Mina up towards the Olympics, and is now here at #1. I guess, yeah. What have you been focusing on this summer to help you get to where you are now today?
We have been focusing a lot of things, especially finding the speed on the lakes. So we've been training a lot in Garda with Tuva and Olga, and had some good trainings there.
And what's your top speed now on the downwind?
Top speed? I think maybe, I don't think I have reached 30 yet, but maybe like 29 something. Yeah.
Very nice, really quick. And what is going to be your main focuses today as we now move into the third day of competition?
I have just been focusing on having fun. It's been, I think it's so fun conditions, and just to be here and enjoy it, it's been my main focus, and I think I will go with the same today.
Yeah, lovely to hear from Maya. Both her and Andy, they're just wanting to enjoy the day. You know, we'll see what they can bring out on the water. But actually, already today, we've had some racing. We've had 5 races completed for the Silver Fleet. You know, it's great. They're still going to get a full schedule. And actually, with 5 races done, we now seem to have a clear leader in that boys' fleet. So in the silvers, I caught up with him a little bit earlier. Arton Sanau he's leading overall. Had a quick chat of his tactics today. He talked about the right hand side being dominant and how you position yourself in that mid right of the beat, and it seemed to do the trick, you know, finishing with a 3rd in the last race.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we also have to say, yesterday already we had a very early kicking of the famous Maloja wind. So Maloja wind really didn't disappoint us. And also today we got an early start again. So it's amazing that we got already a lot of races under our belt this morning.
Yeah, it seems like we've got about, well, it probably came in at 10:15, which is really early. It's great for all the other windsurfers and use of the lake as well. So everyone's getting some great time on the water. But actually, we've got some serious wind out there now. And as you can see how fast they're going downwind, maybe we got 20 knots, so probably seeing in speeds close to 28, 29, maybe over 30 knots.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that we've seen even, some breezes up to 22 knots even, you know, in the gusts. And something very important to point out, I mean, who is not very familiar with the area, we are at 1,800 meters high. So it is windy indeed, but let's not forget that the air up here is very, very thin. So also the wind actually has a bit of less pressure. And so, yeah, it's not the same pressure that we would have usually at the ocean, you know?
It's really good for the top speeds, though. You know, I remember from previous events, we've been here for a few World Championships for the men. Nicholas Goyard, you know, multiple-time world champion, recording speeds in excess of 31 knots. So actually, they'll be going pretty fast on the water now we're at altitude, but also they'll have a puff on. So as you'll see from many of the guys in between the races, they are exhausted, struggling for some breath.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the air is so thin, and it's a matter of fact that the body has to work as double and triple as much as it would do usually. And that's actually also what Maya and the other girls confirmed yesterday. Oh my God, we're so out of breath after all these back-to-back races. So, I mean, it's already very, very nice that they're able to pull off such a show, you know?
Yeah, they're fully geared up. You know, the racing can be pretty extreme in these conditions. So they've got a lot of gear on, and actually, you know, they're just, it will be a bit tight, and they've got to take it off, and they've got to breathe. When we go into these men's and women's races for the gold and the women later, they actually will be racing alternately. So we're coming, they're racing alternately, so they'll have about a 10-15 minute break, recharge, refuel, maybe even chat to the coaches before they go and attack the next race.
Exactly. But let me tell you something. I mean, Ali, isn't it dreaming? There is no cloud on the sky. The Maloja wind is blowing. I mean, the water is still fresh, the wind is a bit fresh, but other than that, it couldn't be better.
Oh, you've got to love Silverplana. The views, they're to die for, and we always enjoy visiting this venue.
I mean, everybody loves Silverplana. Oh, excited to be here. Everybody loves racing here, and it's just beautiful. All right, said this. Good afternoon and welcome again. Today, number 4 of the 2024 Vanora ENGADINWInd iQFOiL Under-23 World Championships here in, just we said, stunning Lake Silvaplana, Engadin, Switzerland. So let me introduce us quickly again. My name is Greta Marchecker and I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Ali Masters, technical IQ expert and also coach actually.
Yeah, coach. And normally it's youth and juniors, but also some seniors. So I'm really enjoying watching my guys out here, but also picking up what are the new points that we're going to be focusing on as they look to push towards the top and winning at the coming events.
Definitely.
Yeah. You know, we've had a good few days racing so far. Let's see what happened yesterday.
Ciao everyone and welcome to day 3 here at the Vanora ENGADINWInd iQFOiL Under-23 World Championships here in stunning Lake Silvaplana, Switzerland. Once the wind fully kicked in, we started course racing straight away and we've been able to complete a full schedule of 5 races. After day 3, the leaders are Andy Brown from the UK, followed by Leo Tomasini from Italy, and in 3rd place, Max Castellijn from the Netherlands. Later in the afternoon, the wind even increased for the ladies, and we've been able to complete another full schedule of course racing. Female leaders after day number 3 are sitting in 1st place Maya Gisler, followed by Tamar Steinberg and Daniela Pelleg.
It's been very good, very fun, and we had 5 great races. So I'm happy.
Tomorrow's forecast is looking good when Gold Fleet Racing will be starting, so make sure to tune in.
Okay, and now we're joining the action. They're not far away from start number 1 for the girls this morning. They've got about 40 seconds to go. Oh, we're on the race clock already. We've got 25 seconds to go. Perfect. And they are approaching the start line. We're course racing today, so we're sailing upwind, downwind, and they're currently reaching across 90 degrees to the wind along the start line. It looks like in a fleet of 47 girls that we've got about 20 on starboard tack, and they're the ones coming towards us, whilst the guys on port tack are going away. They don't have any rights in this situation as they're coming together, so we've got, 45 girls coming at each other.
It's showtime. Oh, yes, look at it. I mean, honestly, this is, I think, for me personally, one of the most exciting parts, of course, racing, like this very long starting line. And yeah, I mean, these tactical decisions, it's just great to see.
Yeah, no, we saw a great start there, coming off the top at the boat, going really high from Lola Sorin, France 31, which is really nice out in space. In Silvaplana, it's a lake. It's got sides. It makes a lot of tactical decisions, and also they're having to maneuver themselves around. So actually, what are they doing to put themselves? But we see that French girl out nicely in front. I apologise. It's Lucy. It's not Lola. Always easy to get it wrong. And then they've got Barbara from Czech Republic, Sikova. She's in 12th right now, but with a start like that, we can surely see her jump up the rankings.
Yeah, it's been definitely a very, very good start. So all girls heading up. I mean, we have some very good ground speed. It's definitely breezy out there today, as we said, 20 to 22 knots even. And yeah, let's see what we will get in this exciting race.
We can see, we see Czech 98. Barbara, she's going so fast. Because she's had that great start, she's got out in front, she's in the best wind of the fleet, but also she can choose her own angle. And sometimes on this equipment, it's not about who can point the highest, it's actually about going fast. And I'm sure she's looking to go fast, build some speed, so she can actually throw a tack in and get back to the right. Okay.
Definitely. I mean, look at this beautiful drone image. The mountains, the turquoise waters, and the girls just cruising and having a good time. This is who will be the first one being on that upper mark.
Yeah, it's well. Yeah, it's tight, that's for sure. Another Czech girl is now winning, actually. She seems to be a little bit further in the left. But Lucy and Barbara are probably in the strong position going back to the middle of the course on the right. That is our... No, it's number 4th place, Tuva Opedal, just crossing behind. So she's got a little bit of work to do to get back into this race.
Yeah, definitely. But let me tell you something. The girls, they're all very, very hungry. They all want to pull out the maximum of this event. And yeah, they're not making it easy for the top 10, that's for sure.
For a lot of the girls, this is their under-23 World Championships. They're young, they're inexperienced, but they really want to show themselves. And we've already seen some of them making that step up at the senior level.
Yeah, definitely.
Maya Gisley, she was second in Parma on the podium, and also Tamar and Daniela Peleg have both had their moments leading or right in the top 3 at these internationals. So actually, this is their time to shine. The focus is all on them, because those older women are just a little bit behind.
I mean, do you believe that the just previous Olympic Games gave them an additional boost to shine here? You know what I mean? I mean, this is basically the dream that all those girls are having, and they're all kind of aiming towards Los Angeles. But do you think that the previous Olympic Games, they just gave them an additional boost watching it and so on?
Everyone wants to watch the Olympics. You want to be, you see it from when you're a little kid, you're watching, and then eventually you work out a sport, you work out your opportunity to be involved, and everyone's working towards getting there. So for lots of these girls, they've been in full support as training partners. The Israeli girls will have all been there helping Sharon all the way. Interesting, we've got Lucy leading into the women's mark. She's on the lay line. It looks a bit gusty, a bit out of control. She's lengthened her harness line, she's left off her out, and now she's sitting down as much as possible, trying to go fast and quick downwind. So we'll see those speeds accelerate as they use the wind to really help them.
Oh, yes. And I mean, it seems like she got quite a lead even. So fully in and speeding on. Yeah, look at it.
It's a bit like, I think for many, you might have seen the Sail GP racing, and they talk a lot about wing wash. Their sails are much, much bigger, but that's still a lot of dirty wind off. So for Lucy, getting out in front, she's leaving that, that trail of turbulent air behind her. So actually, she's got a good opportunity to just keep extending away.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we see the fleet going towards from our side, the left-hand side of the lake. Yeah, let's see who will get first. I mean, seems like she looks very, very fast and comfortable, but the girls are very close.
Yeah, generally all week here in Lake Silverflower, as we look upwind, we can see the sailing club of Sil and the sailing clubs at the top of the lake. There's not much disturbance upwind as you look on the right. So lots of the girls are going to be jibing away very quickly to try and get in that darker water and go as quick as they possibly can. And for Lucy, she just needs to go the same way as everyone else. With an 80 to 100 meter lead, it's all, it's easy for her to now control. If she goes the same way as everyone else, she's actually going to be able to limit her risks and manage the fleet and keep holding on to this lead.
Definitely. And I mean, going downwind, so how important is it actually in these moments to have a clean jibe? It's super important to go straight away, to continue being up on the foil. You don't want to lose any meters, you don't want to lose any speed, right?
It's the point when you can throw it away. When it's this windy, maybe they'll crash when they're sailing along. They'll get a little bit too high and lift it out. But the jibe, it's so easy. It's so easy to just lose control, and actually being able to get back hooked in, get the sail sheeted in, so you've got as much power in the sail as possible, and you're also as little drag. That's going to help you get that top speed on straight away. The girls doing 24 knots on this downwind. They've just gone for a jibe, which is why we see their speeds drop out a little bit, but actually they're just positioning themselves to the gate. Lucy goes round the leeward gate. She tains the left gate in first, with Barbara Sikova opting for the other gate.
I mean, it seemed like she was actually even able to extend her lead for a little bit more. So let's see if she can keep up with that and hold her position.
Yeah, but the challenge for Lucy right now, she's actually gone the opposite way to the other girls.
Yes.
And which is why, the tracking can sometimes deceive us, and it now tells us Tamar's winning, just because actually going out to the left-hand side, depending on which shift is, the wind shift at this moment, if it's taking them closer to the mark or maybe even away from the mark, she might not be sailing as close to the mark right now, which is why we see all those girls who've gone round the right-hand gate, Israel and both Czech Republic girls, they are actually in front of Lucy. When she breaks back to them, we will see.
Definitely. So it will be exciting until the very end. Yeah. And that's what we want to see.
And there's always opportunities to come back. Silverplana is great because it's a lake, because it's tight. We've seen it's never over till it's over. There can be some wind shifts, but also you have these maneuvers.
Exactly, you get a lot of maneuvers. That's very right. I mean, that's the beauty of a lake, It's kind of small, it's very scenic, it's pretty, but obviously you need to think also to have more maneuvers and stuff. So you need to be mentally prepared for that. You need to have the right tactics, and that's what makes it so exciting to race here.
Yeah, we've gone for the tack. Hopefully she's going to plane out of this. Little bit of a slow one. It's really easy. I'm not going to be critical. There's hardly any wind in that left-hand side as we see her struggle to even get back on the foil. And Lola Serina's pulled up quite a lot. She had a really nice upwind there. Yeah, no, it's easy from this live stream. It's always simple. But
I mean, for us, it's obviously easy to sit here and talk about it, but we're not the girls being out there. And as said, it's already so hard to be racing here. One race back to back with this thin air, with these hard conditions for your body. I mean, it makes such a difference if you're in a very good physical shape up here.
For sure, it's all on the concentration and the physical preparation, because actually they've got enough on to just sail this equipment in a straight line.
Yeah.
They're making it look very easy. It's hard to sail in a straight line in these conditions, but actually keeping it simple, sailing where there's more wind, and sailing on a tack that takes your watermark. The next challenge to them is actually on minimizing your maneuvers, doing less tacks to bring yourself, to save that loss. A tack loss for a foiler is probably 30 to 40 meters compared to the others around you. So if they can do two tacks, that might be better than doing 3.
I mean, tacks, jibes, maneuvers in general are always the critical points of a race. Obviously more than going on a straight line, that's for sure. So as you say, I mean, we just saw it before. As soon as you tack and you touch a little bit the water, obviously you lose a lot of speed. You need to bring up the foil out of the water, pump it out.
Yep.
So as you say, you need to avoid it as much as you can. That's for sure.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a lean change here. Lucy was obviously leading into the lead mark, but she's gone to the left-hand side. But the right-hand side turned on. The wind machine on that right-hand side turned on. And so Tamar is now in control of the race. She's been smart here. As you can see, right at the bottom of the shot, we've got Lucy and Lola going over, and they are tacking. She's just putting a little cover on them, defending, just in case there was any other crazy shifts on this lakes or new gusts. Actually, she could keep control.
Wow, Tamar is having a very big lead, actually. I mean, Tamar has been very, very consistent throughout the week so far. And consistency, to me, is actually one of the key things during a race. Being consistent, being able to stay always within this top 3 or even top 12, it's just so important.
Yeah, I think we really see it from our Israeli team. They have a really strong group of women, coached by Shahar Zubari and Stav Bemior.
Definitely.
And they're working together in a big 6. And actually for Tamar, her dad was the Olympic coach for many, many years. There's so much experience, and they're always calm under pressure.
It's in her DNA. Let's say that it's in her DNA.
And I think her sister is also a very, very good gymnast as well. So, yeah, they're certainly used to it, but they're racing really tight all the time. So
oh, my God, they're close.
But yeah, some nice powered-up bearaways. No crashes of yet. I always want to see all the drama, get those holy moments in.
I mean, the girls, the level, as we just said, the level is just so high, that you see barely crashes. But obviously, I mean, sometimes you're just pushing a little bit too much, and then it can happen all the time. I mean, obviously.
The challenge with the speed, as we look at what the top speeds of the girls are, the faster they're going to go, the more sheeted in their sail's going to be. So it's really efficient and it's powered up. But also the higher they fly on the foil, it cuts down the amount of drag, but it then doesn't leave them with very much room for error. Exactly. So if they just come out, as we look over the top on this lovely shot of Tamar jibing, you'll see her so, yeah, as we see her complete her jibe, you can even see the foil underneath the water.
Oh, I love this image. This
so
shot
clear
from above when you can see the foil just speeding up. Oh, my God, loving it. So beautiful. Yeah. All right, and we can see Tamar fully leading. Oh, my God, look what the lead she just got out.
Yeah, she's really extended, but you can see from the speed she's going a lot faster as well
than all the other girls. I mean, it seems like she got this extra little bit of juice in there, huh?
And this is our final downwind. We're doing a 2-leg or 2 upwind leg race here in Lake Silverplana. So races are roughly near enough 15 minutes, which is enough in these conditions. And we've got Tamar in the lead, followed by Katerina Pinisova. She's really pulled up as well. She was obviously top 5 going today, but she was outside the top 10 for a lot of this race. Tuva is in 3rd. Opeda is in 4th, but struggling in this one is Maya Gisley. She's, she was leading, but she's had a bit of a shocker here. I'm not really sure, but it's easy to do. You get caught just behind on the start. But actually, if we look at the results when they do come in, she will be protected by the discard because her week so far, this event, has been incredible.
Exactly. I mean, so far the info we got, she's sitting in 16th position. But I mean, as we said, nothing is lost until the very end. So she's a fighter. She will give everything for sure to get back to the top.
And when we spoke to her earlier, she said she was really working on her downwind speed and her top speed because that is the biggest differentiating factor. We have Tamar Steinbach coming across the lead, really extended nicely.
Wow,
She takes the win.
amazing race from her side.
Katarina's
wow,
coming in second with Tuva third, and then it's a French-Czech battle for Phil from fifth.
Let's see. Oh, okay, because yesterday we also got some very, very close battles. But this
Yeah,
one
I think it was,
relaxed.
we had one between Michal Polak and Max Castellin in the men's, and also Andy Brown and Stanislaw. And they were so tight, being separated by a few centimeters.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is what we love, right? When we got those exciting ends.
We've got the Brits in 8th and 9th. Darcy gets an 8th today. Jenny in 9. Let's see how she keeps picking up as the racing goes through with more Brits coming around. We're just waiting to see where Maya Geiser is. It looks like she's come in 15th position, crossing the line now, followed by Sofia Heinemann from Finland.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That was a very, very beautiful race. I mean, consistent conditions. Very good wins. The girls are very speedy on the way. So, yeah, that's how it should be. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, I think as we look back on the race recap, it was really the first beat. It was about that left-hand side off the start and actually getting a clean lane, taking control. With Lucy, Lola and Barbara, nice and up there at the start of the race. It was then about who made the lay line. There was a few who maybe left it a little bit short. But then as we go down to the bottom of the course, this was the most critical part, because actually choosing right or left, it's almost like rolling the dice at points, but Tamar rolled it the right way.
Yeah,
she went to the right-hand side, and she takes the race win.
Yeah, that was actually her moment. As soon as she chose that right-hand side, that was the moment where she was actually able to decide that race for her.
Yeah, and I think it's, we've got the results up now, but obviously that was that defining moment in the race. And I think for any young racer who's thinking about it, or maybe even some in silver who are looking for those new options, it's thinking about what angle you're on downwind. Are you on a lift or a header? Because it will be the alternate on the upwind, and where is that next bit of pressure? Because she went on a lift to the right-hand side in wind, and that gives her the first place.
I mean, in the end, as you can see, an athlete here, it really comes together of being able to put all your skills in one place, in one race. Like, you need to be speedy, you need to be physical fit, you need to be able to read the wind. And yeah, that's basically what Tamar just did in that race. She was able to understand and do this very important tactical decision, and in the end, she turned out the leader of this race.
And I think I probably want to give a shout out to probably the standout performer and really jumped up is Katarina Oltamanova from the Czech Republic. She's had a tough week so far, but that is, that's just showing the potential she has. And here at this venue, everyone has their time to shine. It's shifty, it's gusty, it creates options. Okay.
Exactly. This is again talking about the point consistency. I mean, it's just about being able to put together, like being consistent out in the top 3, maybe top 12, and then you're actually safer.
And now we get ready for the Gold Fleet men. It's super tight. We've seen those points. They're really close to each other. And now we've got 1 minute 5 to go. Shortly, that red and white flag is going to go down, hidden behind sails, unfortunately. So they've got 1 minute to go. Interesting, saw it looked like Fedi Poloni and Finn Hawkins opting to start on starboard. And we'll have about a 50-50 fleet. We've got 51 in this fleet. Our flying Mexican, Geronimo. He's looking to climb. And you can really see some guys taking some risk. Yeah, 50-50 on the start. They are going to be flying as close to the line as possible, and with about 5 seconds to go, they're going to be really accelerating and then turning up onto their upwind angles, trying to shoot in front of the other guys.
Oh, yes, definitely. All right, 24 seconds left.
This
Everybody's
is
lining up.
This is the most terrifying part of the race. It's like you're on the motorway, but you don't know if you're in the UK or in Europe, and everyone's going on the same lane at each other. And so they're quickly trying to duck and dive and get through, with those guys on port going away from us as we watch right now, generally having to see behind.
I mean, what we hopefully don't want to see.
They're hooking up now, 2-1. Second overall, Leo Tomasini. He's going for right on the port end for a port start. Looks like the starboard end is very biased, though. And actually, those guys are crossing through very clear.
I mean, I think it's been a good start, waiting for confirmation. But so far, it looked very good to me, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's all clear. Couldn't see any flags. We haven't had the call. We see up the top, we've got a Korean. having a really nice start, and Finn Hawkins, nice out and clear with
Beautiful.
Max Hidde van der Meer just underneath. So he's leading the race to the left, almost, with Finn just above. We've then got Team Poland in their masses. You know, there's so many of those guys, coached by Maciek.
True.
And all the boys that will be watching on the live stream, probably punishing me for my pronunciation. They are really going. They've got a strong group of guys. They're training hard. They're big. They're strong. And they're going for it. Wow, saw a crazy weave from one of the British. So when you tack over onto port, you actually don't have any rights of way. You know, suddenly you've got to get out of the way of everyone else, and it might take a little bit of a weave to get to the right-hand side.
I'm wondering how many of the guys actually checked out the girls' race just before, you know, and but I think most of them are doing that, right?
Yeah, I
and
think
it will help for the tactical decision afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really handy to have the silver fleet as you're preparing the athletes. You know, for Andy, for Finn, and for the Italian boys. You know, I've seen the coaches going through the GPS tracking already this morning. They're watching it. They're looking for the phases and the sides. They've been out on the hill, seeing what's going on. Which we've got one Polish very forward in the left-hand side, still going to that corner, so there must still be some wind. But we'll see how they come back together shortly.
I mean, we can see a lot of crossovers right now. Everything is still open, heading for that first upper mark.
Yeah, it's, you know, as we go off the start, it's a bit, you know, you've got to go out like the hare. It's not about being a tortoise in the iQFOiL class. You're trying to go out as fast as you can and just get out in front of the fleet. And so whilst there's lots of crossing, there's still a lot to play for. They can you know, go for it and really especially see what manoeuvres. Here we've got Oling Young there from Hong Kong, training partner for the games. He's just a nice tack, not a foil tack, which is actually generally a differentiating factor in this fleet, but he crosses over these guys from the right-hand side. See Andy Brown in the yellow bib, just going out the bottom of the corner. So he's well placed in this race. Maybe not leading, but in a good position.
Exactly, and that's what you want to be, you know, in a very good position to be able to go further. And we can see some more crossovers there, heading up to that upper mark.
And, I think I can see Sebastian Scherer. He's come from the right-hand side. He's looking really nice in this, crossing up. But he's thrown the tack in early, so he's in it. And obviously with Max Castellin doing very nicely as well, accompanied by Emile Rouet, France 62. Kind of surprised, but he's having an absolute great one at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, still a lot of switching around here in the seatings, but let's see once we come up to the upper mark, who will be rounding first. Very, very excited to see that one.
Yeah, it seems like as we look at the shot, we had Finn leading towards that right-hand side, and they're trying to find the ley line. I can see Hidde van der Meer. You know, we've got two different sails here at this event. They're exactly the same, just built by different manufacturers, but from the same place. So we've got the Patrick sails. They're the black burgundy colour sails, and then we've got our Severn red sails, so it allows us to easily identify some of the athletes.
Yeah, exactly. They're literally standing out. I mean, you can see it clear away.
You know,
that helps.
if
for
you want to
sure.
be, if you want to be coached, be visible. That's my guidance. You know, certainly
That's
good
out
for
of
the
a
safe.
coach perspective, right?
Hey, you know. I'm sure Matthew Coops, Hidde's coach from Holland, will be just making his life easy. But it's Max Castellin leading. He's having to throw the double tack in. Maybe Hidde's going to make this ley line. Really pumping as he got round. He's very slow and high, but Hidde round in one. Max in two, Finn Hawkins in three, and Along Young in fourth. So they are really nice and tight, with Clement Bourgeois also in there. And it looks like Clement's already gone for the jibe away.
Oh my God, that was so close. I couldn't believe it.
Yes.
Amazing.
No, it's this fleet, the standard is so high. Every single event we come to, it gets better and better. All those guys training as training partners for Marseille and the Olympics, they seem to have upped their level. We're bringing new youngsters into the fleet all the time, and some even competing on the PWA. You know, I know Hidde was in Forteventura recently, finding that top speed.
I mean, there are a lot of guys who are actually all-around great water people, you know, competing in other formats. Also, some of the girls like Justine Lemaitre and others. And, yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see them ripping
It's PWA
here.
sailing, it's wing, it's everything. And the more time you can spend on the foil, the better you're going to get with this gear.
Exactly. I mean, in the end, it's all about passion, right?
It looks like Max separated a fleet a little bit, and he's followed them in, with Finn Hawkins going first out to that windy right-hand side. But Max has stayed in the lead. Finn is in second. When Max will jibe will depend where the ley line is.
Yeah, very
Okay.
curious to see that one
He's
now.
gone a little bit further, and that might also suggest he's looking to go straight at the mark and go to the right-hand side. Oh, sorry, go to the left-hand side to make a right turn to go to the left-hand side. Almost get yourself in a spin with this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the ley line is. Finn's, yep.
So I have actually a question, Ali. What do you think, how important is it actually to know your competitor, like to know about his skills and stuff? How important is it to know the people you're racing against, you know?
It's sometimes you've got to know yourself first. You know your strengths and your weaknesses. You know the times when you can attack and you can really make the jump in the fleet, but also knowing where guys are good. Sometimes, you know, if you know that guy's really fast, like Finn, for example, and Max, they're both really, really fast downwind. So you may just want to put a little cover on them, maybe block their wind a little bit, try and slow them down so they can't escape away from you.
Yeah, so we would both agree that obviously it helps a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Max, slight underlay here, so a little bit slow speed, but he's off to the right. Finn, interestingly, from GBR, is opting for left-hand side, but I think, no, he's just gone for a standard rounding. I thought he was going to throw that in as a bit of a, you know, not a J-turn, but straight into a foil tack. Coming round the other gate, they're all tight. Everyone is trying to be in clean wind. So we can see Max and Thomas Bernat, they're on the holding onto the uphaul or the boom, just going for speed, whereas the guys behind are pumping for their lives, trying to give themselves some wind. You know, they'll certainly be out of puff come the rest of this. Yeah.
I mean, once you're ahead and in the clean air, that's actually what everybody's aiming for. That's what you need, and where you're also able to get out your maximum speed.
Interesting to see in the results. You know, it looks like, again, that early right-hand side has paid on the tracking, showing they're closer to the wheel mark.
Definitely paid off.
So Finn was second, but now he's down to fourth, and he's been down a bit further. The other one we're looking at is current event leader. Andy Brown is in eighth. You know, he's one of the, he's not the tallest, but he's definitely one of the big boys of the fleet. Pretty powerful. It'll be interesting to see how on the harness he can come back through the fleet later.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, sheet in. It looks breezy out there, right? It's definitely more windy as soon as you come more up towards the lake.
They've got 20 knots. You know, you can see, you know, the sail is big and they really flatten off. They don't want the power in these conditions. So we can see the top of the sail, the leech of that sail. It's just fluttering on Fetty's sail right now. It's just it's letting the wind out so they still have control. He goes for the tack now. Oh, little touch. Ooh. Yeah, nearly a full forward tack. He's a little bit behind. We can see that the right-hand side is quite dominant there. But he brings himself back into the race. Sometimes those tracking points aren't accurate, and we're going to see Fetty slide back down the results as it looks like that right-hand side, they're on a really nice angle.
Let's see. Very curious who will be up first on the upwind mark.
That's
a very exciting moment.
The other big step forward here is Eli Lifting from New Zealand. Going really fast. He's actually come back a long way on this second beat. And now we're looking for the ley line. Max Castellin has already tacked away, but Eli's still going. Where is that mark? Oh, we can see it right upwind. They've still got a long way to go. Okay.
Definitely. All right. Oh, look how he's cruising. That looks so amazing. Oh my God, look at this beautiful image.
From us just looking downwind of it, you can see how much his board is on the cant. We can almost see the underside of his board as he's going along. That helps him use the foil to make him go more upwind.
All right,
rather than necessarily just keeping the thing down or keeping us flying.
Little touchdown in the tech here, but I think he went away quite fast again.
Yeah, it's going to be really close actually between Max, Finn and Eli here. We're following behind Finn, just underneath. He's holding onto his uphaul line, just trying to go as fast as he possibly can. He'll be pushing as much in his back leg as he can. Just see where he can get to. He's already looking for the ley line over his front shoulder. He can see Max's tack. So is he going to tack before him, or is he going to wait and go behind and concede the place, but also guarantee that he's going to have a good, safe result rather than doing the double tack?
Oh, yeah, and then we can see Max extending his lead going upwards.
And now we wait to see where Eli is in the cross. So Eli's a bit further to the left, and he might come into shot soon. Yeah, really tight, and he's throwing in the tack in front. No, Max has missed the ley line, unless he can pump up and make it. So Eli's gone a little bit further just to make sure he's going to get it. You know, we can see Max pumping. It's like doing a 200-kilo leg press, what he's doing right now. He's not doing much with his arms. He's just trying to really drive in his legs and push as hard as he can.
And there we go, rounding first with quite a lead. Nice one.
Yeah, Max in one from Netherlands, and then Eli from New Zealand, Finn in third, and I think Andy Brown the beast himself, he's caught back up to 4th place already. So he's got a bit of a battle on, and actually that's where the battle's going to be in this race between 4th and 8th. They are really tight, with Clement coming through with speed behind.
Absolutely. So we go now downwind.
No, a tough race for Michal Polak and U23. They were 3rd and 4th, or 3rd and 6th going into today, but they're a little bit outside the top 10 right now, and they've got a bit to do.
Yeah, seems like Max is able to extend his lead, going now downwind. Ooh, he looks speedy.
Yeah, we've got 26 knots plus on this downwind. You know, how quick can they go? Ooh, 27s, you know, they're really pushing out in front. Eli looks like he's really extended. He's a big, tall guy, and that leverage helps in these conditions to just get the kid a bit more away from him, and he can have the sail even more powered up.
Exactly. I mean, can be also be a little bit critical, obviously, when you're overpowered going downwind. So you really need to be, just safe. You need to stay safe. Proper mindset, sheet in, and hold on.
Keep it sheet in. If you sheet out, you die.
Yes,
that is,
exactly.
You know, that's the guidance that you give the little kids. Don't sheet in, whatever happens, because then there's going to be a whole world of pain. So they're just trying to take that power, but they let this out all off in the sail, and that actually pulls them even more downwind on their angle, which makes it a little simpler.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see who will be able to get the deepest angle here.
Yeah,
for the final reach.
Seems like they're going towards that final mark, and then they reach across. The battle really here is going to be between Finn Hawkins and Eli Lifting for the 2nd and 3rd place spot. So we're following up behind them. Who's going to jibe first for this mark? And then Finn is just behind right now. Can he turn on the turbo to get him on the reach?
Exactly, that little bit of extra juice that we need.
It's certainly a foot to the floor moment. You've got to disengage your brain, not worry about the consequence of crashing, and just go as fast as you can. Interesting drive from Max. Touched down a little bit, but he's holding on to the lead, and he's nice and safe.
So final reach coming up. Max is still in the lead. Let's see how far behind we have the other guys.
No, he's safe there.
I think
if you can't see them in picture, if they're more than 5 board lengths, they've got to be insane. The only man that I would think would be able to make that jump is Sam Sills, because he is Mr. Kamikaze on the final reach, but they're safe at this event.
And there we go.
New Zealand holding off, bearing away nicely, not giving Finn the chance. So Max Castellin wins, Eli Lifting in 2nd, big crash.
Ooh!
Well, I hope the nose of his board's all right. And Finn Hawkins from St Austell, Cornwall in 3rd.
I mean, I'm glad he just crashed after the
yeah, it would have been a bad consequence. Finn Hawkins in
not
4th, Hidde van der Meer in 5th here. And then Matt Check in 5. Ooh, Clement had a big pull up in that race on that downwind. And Joost Vink as well gained 2 places on the downwind to come in here in 9th.
Swiss local coming in.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Slowly see them. They're all going as fast as they can. You know, all these points matter. Actually,
ooh, another very close one. Ooh, let's see. Ah,
ooh, I reckon that was the bottom board, yeah.
Not sure from the angle we have if we've seen the right one.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very busy coming here in the finish. And so all these points the guys will be counting because they've done 9 races so far. So everything today they count until we've done 4 races and get another discard. Okay.
I mean, sometimes it's exactly this 1 point, which puts you outside of the medal series or whatever. So you really need to give and fight for every position.
Yeah, and so we look at the race recap. They split off the line. It looked like an early left turn was good. But then actually it was all about being on the right-hand side of the beat. And Max Castellin got to the right early on the 2nd lap and then dominated and held on.
Yeah, totally. I mean, he really dominated throughout the whole race. Very good decision making there and a good ground speed. So amazing to see him.
Some of these guys, they're coming towards the end of their under-23 careers, and it really shows, like for Max, for Finn and for Eli, I think this is their last time they can be here at the under-23 competition. And with Andy, he's overage, a little bit older, but actually he's here to best prepare for the up-and-coming European Championships.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, as you say, some of those guys, they're actually racing since, immediately when the class came up. So they got definitely some experience. They're enjoying now the last race in their category until they do the next step up in the senior, yeah. It's been good overall results. I think Sebastian Schara, he's the noticeable one, and Dominic Lewinsky, they were back in the 35th position. So actually this top 10 result is going to be massive for their standings, as even though, they might not be in a position to win the event right now,
they're all looking to make it towards this top 10 cutoff, and good solid top 10 results are going to climb them up the rankings.
Exactly.
So hopefully they can make the medal race on Sunday.
I mean, for the moment, the goal is obviously to enter that medal race on Sunday. That's basically the goal for the whole week for all the riders.
Yeah,
but those guys are definitely more close to that.
Yeah, and there's internal qualifications as well. Like I was speaking to some of the German sailors this morning, and actually, you know, for them to make the German national team, as we see him just come ashore, they're looking for top 12 under 23, and for many nations they have the same challenges. So there's still pressure. Yeah. Irrespective if you're winning this event or not, as they look to push their sailing up.
Definitely. I mean, we're not here for fun, you know. Obviously, fun is the most important thing while you're on the water and living your passion and so on. But obviously, a lot of guys, they have to prove something, and they have certain goals they need to achieve, they want to achieve. So, yeah, there's quite some pressure in the air.
And now they've got 15 minutes to rethink, have a check-in with the coaches, and decide what they're going to do next. We're now approaching the women's second race of the day. Still event leader Maya Geisler had a tough one in that last one. You know, struggled on the results a little bit. Was a bit back, probably a starting issue, I would assume. But let's see if she can reset mentally and get back into the racing.
I mean, this is such an important point that you just touched. Out of a coach perspective, I mean, how important is it to, okay, this race didn't go my way. I need to put that quickly away. So this is really the mindset strength that you need to have, and then kind of do a recap and re-go on.
Yeah, it's about, for me, it's about staying calm. But it's taking it seriously, being professional, and actually just reminding yourself what you need to do to perform. Maybe they've just watched that men's race and they're going to copy a few things strategically.
Yeah.
But yeah, just clean head. And we've, you know, this, you know, up here in the mountains, everyone's a bit tired as well. So it's actually getting that oxygen to the brain. Yeah. Looks like as we approach the start, we've got a 40, probably 60-40 split with more boards on starboard tack. Going to the left. As you have right of way, you're almost taking that first ladder up. You're making that early gain, and we see them coming along. Unfortunately, we've got a winger in the way.
Oh,
he's about to get the scare of his life.
Oh, my
and
God.
will probably never want to come and be above that start line again. But it looks like he's safe for now. We're counting down. We've got 10. There's still a few guys that are late at the starboard end, so it's going to be really busy at the boat.
I mean, those starts are always scary, you know. Course racing starts are always scary, but this wing-foil guy, oh my God, my nerves, look at this. Ooh.
He's survived just about. And that's the drone passing through, opening up and showing us that shot of them all crossing and going up.
Beautiful start of the ladies here. Yeah, I think it's
like
a clean one again.
Another great start for Lucy Belbiot. Looks like Sophia Meyer on the Phantom. She's just going through the middle of the gate now. So also had a good start.
From Germany, Sophia, right?
Yeah, and I think it might be Barbara again who's had the best start from the Czech Republic, pushing out on starboard out in front of the other girls. Now, we saw some of the top speeds upwind from her in that last race. Can she keep it going?
Yeah, indeed. Looking good right there. Absolutely flying.
Yeah, no, really. And punching out. Like, you know, as we see these speeds, you know, the GPS trackers, actually the top speed may not show us the most. It's because it can vary. There's times when people are accelerating and maybe they're looking for more of an angle, but consistently she's up in the 16s, 17s, and that's helping her pull away.
Yeah, and in second position at the moment we have actually Sofia Renna from Italy. Exciting to see her as well. I mean, her brother has been just coming back from the Olympics so far, and she's also one of these racers' family, you know.
Yeah, a lot of pressure and expectation on her, being one of the young ones, but she's had a great start off this starboard end of the line. And she's holding out just behind. It looks like she's just being caught a little bit behind the angle of Barbara, but still nicely going in this race. And they'll just be looking for that dark patch of water, which it looks like just about to go into, to throw a tack in and come out with good speed. Foil tack from Tamar Steinberg brings her in, and she's close to the cross on Sophia there.
Exactly. First tacks incoming, and there we go again. So Tamar heading now to the right-hand side of the lake. Let's see which side would have been the better one.
Katerina Amotova also doing very well. She's crossed just ahead of Tamar. But now we see the key bit. You know, which way do we roll the dice off the start? And we're following behind Tuva Opdal. I'm assuming she might be well up in those girls who've come from the right. And it looks like Darcy Shaw. Darcy Shaw is just below her. And so when we see where Darcy is on the cross, it will give us a good indication if Tuva's going to make it or not and whether she's leading.
Exactly. And I mean, beautiful shot of Tuva Obviously, Tuva is very, very hungry for that title as well. I mean, she's a big name.
Big name, big personality. You know,
Exactly.
she really wants to win, but she's going to make it fun, and she is going to go full send. And, you know, it doesn't matter, boy, girl, she's going to beat anyone on the water. She is really going to send
do it full send or do it not at all, right? That's the motto here.
That's definitely the motto. You know, sometimes, you know, I've seen her parents turn up here today to come watch the racing. It can be a bit outrageous, but, you know, she sees no boundaries. She just put in a foil tack, and she's really competing in this. Other one that we see now on shot is Katrin Williams. She's had a really tough week so far. I think she's quite down in the results, but actually she's got board speed. So if she can get free and in clear wind and space as she's got now, we might see her getting some of the top speeds of the fleet and really up there.
Exactly. So let's see. We're approaching that upwind mark. I mean, so far to me, looking from here, it seems like that the right-hand side of the lake is still the more windy one.
So those girls, Tuva and Darcy, are currently leading. They went to the right early. They tacked back, crossed in front of the other girls, and then we're actually, you know what, we want more of it. So when it's going well, just keep investing in that pot. And they've gone back out to the right. And actually, for Tuva and Darcy, they have that option as two of the best foil tackers here in this girls' fleet. Yeah. Darcy's going for her attack now. Got a nice little pop. Ooh, little corner tap. They're very, very good.
Oh, yes.
Racing like this. And that's actually, that tack was so good, it's put her in the lead of the race.
And we're approaching that upwind mark. Oh, and the girls are getting closer. Ooh,
yeah, it's really
what's
tight
happening here? It's
they
very,
look like
very
they're
tight.
a little bit under the ley line, so that's why Tuva's already pumping. She's trying to roll over the top of Darcy.
Oh, she's pumping for her life right now. She really wants this. Approaching the mark. Ooh, and she overtook her actually.
This is the worst bit for Darcy now. She's just gone behind Tuva's sail, and the wind will just be flapping her and moving around. But it makes sure Tuva's in the lead. Darcy's in second, and Tamar Steinberg, the winner of the last race, is in third. Okay. In four, we have Alice Reed. Really nice to see her up there. She's over age, but she's wanting to train hard, keep preparing herself for the Europeans. And her boyfriend, Nico Goard, has been here tuning up her gear, getting her ready, giving all the advice he can.
Very amazing caddy, definitely.
I think it's certainly time for him to pull his weight on that front.
All right, but everything is still possible. Now the girls are going downwind. Let's see which side of the lake they're next choosing.
Most of them have made the choice for the early jibe again. They're out onto that right-hand side as we look up, left-hand side as we look down of the lake, and they're just going to maximise their time in the strongest gusts out on the water. You know, we'll see. It looks like they've got the longest arms in the world. They're just almost letting their shoulders go and extending out.
I mean, please, Ali, look at this. It looks like an image out of National Geographic, doesn't it?
It could be, isn't it? Yeah, it's always nice. I mean, it's always nice to watch the racing. And actually, for all the sailors as well sailing around when the scenery is stunning. You know, it's interesting. There's something going on. You know, we go to some venues where there's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, sailing in a beautiful place, that's what we all love, right? I mean, if we can choose between a less beautiful place and a very stunning one, like here, the Engadin, obviously we always would go for that second option. And people love to come here, and it's for a reason one of the most beautiful and known windsurfing spots around Europe.
Yeah, it's a lovely place, you know, and when the wind turns on, as the Maloya wind has done today, there's no better place, which is why we've seen the iQFOiL class come to Silver Plana
for many times actually, yeah.
Well supported by the local area.
Exactly.
And Vanora, but actually it's been really nice to come here and get involved and make the most of Swiss life.
Yes, indeed.
We're seeing some interesting technique. Tuva's sailing on the uphaul on the downwind. It's helping her keep a bit more weight over the front of the board whilst keeping her mast away, so it pulls her downwind. She's going for a jibe now.
And she goes away. Nice one. She quite extended her lead, huh? Look at this.
Yeah, it was only probably 5-8 meters, but she had a bit more top speed at the mark, and now she's really gone away. The question for Tuva, she'll be looking over her shoulder now. Where's Darcy? Is she going the same way as her, or is she going the other way?
Oh, yes. She
and as we see...
that's actually Tamar, I think, now in second.
Tamar is second, yeah.
Yes.
I do not know if a board has disappeared out to the left-hand side, but it's definitely a Brit in third. And there's another Brit in fifth, so Alice and Darcy are following out Tamar and Tuva, who obviously had a bit of a speed edge on this downwind.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have Tuva still leading. In second place, Tamar going on the left-hand side of the lake. Well, from our perspective. All right, going upwind for that second round now.
Yeah. And
Seems like all the girls are actually choosing that side of the lake
there's
now.
not many.
Almost.
You've got to have some real courage to go away. But as you see, they're all looking for clean wind, so they're coming out of this mark and they're trying to go as high upwind as they possibly can to hopefully get their fresh slice of the breeze, which is why they're going so quick. But then they almost lose all their speed. They're then bearing away and nearly running out of shot to try and keep the board on the foil. So a good mark exit, exit of the mark and keeping the foil nice and high is so important.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a +5, -5 for your race decision point, really, of whether you lane hold.
All right, and then we can see Tuva extending her lead, actually, holding on to that uphole.
For dear life, it looks like it's very gusty as she's getting thrown in and out and just trying to be as still as possible, tensing her core, tensing her legs, trying to keep everything still while she drives as hard through that back foot of the foil as possible.
Oh, yeah, seems like she's checking. So, how fast is the second girl behind me? Where is she? Where is Tamar?
Yeah, Tamar made a massive comeback in that last race, to bring her into the lead. And you spend your whole time looking over your shoulder because it's not just about attacking, it's also about defending.
Defending, exactly. I mean, attacking is one thing, defending is another one, that's for sure.
And the easiest way to defend is to put yourself in between your opposition and the mark.
Yes.
So you're always in between the two. Whereas, so we see right now, Tuva's quite extended out in front.
Wow.
And so she's got a bit of a lead. But if there's a wind shift, she could be in danger. So he comes out the tack.
That was
Pretty
a good
planing
one.
tack. Yeah, good speed exit,
Definitely.
actually. And she clears across in front of Tamar.
Wow, that was a very, very nice one from Tuva.
Yeah. And then now we'll probably see her looking over her shoulder again, worrying about where Tamar's gone. It's like this little, devil over behind your shoulder. What do I need to go? Where do I need to be?
I mean, there's some of the racers who are generally saying, okay, actually defending is worse than attacking, It's harder.
You've just, and especially for a lot of these girls, they're young. They have no fear. It's just easier to just send it and not worry about the other people. I'm just going to go faster than everyone else. Maybe
no risk, no fun, right?
No risk, no fun. But also, if you're going slow, you're definitely not going to be doing well. So just go fast and just extend and keep trying to build your lead, rather than necessarily defend all the time.
Exactly. And I mean, we heard an interview earlier this week of Tuva where she actually said, well, winning would be nice, So she definitely showed us how hungry she is for that title. And I mean, she has also a lot of title under her belt already. So despite her young age.
The Norwegian fleet standard with Mina Beck there, into their last campaign, their #1 sailor with Maya Gisley and with Tuva Opedal, they have 3 or 4 girls in the top 10 of the fleet.
Yeah.
And so they've been working all this year. It's not just been about preparation for the Olympics. They've been coming in to perform, which is, as Maya said earlier today, they've been training in Garda. They've been trying to do some time on the lakes, get the feel of the water. The fresh water is a little bit different to the salt on the foil. And it seems to be paying off with Tuva leading right now.
Oh, yes, going around that upper mark and now going downwind. Oh, look at that. I mean, she extended her lead to Tamar. Definitely.
Yeah, quite clearly. She's gone away.
Yeah.
It says for now, these girls, it's do you stick? Do you accept your position, or do you really try and twist and do something crazy? Go a different way, maybe pump the whole way, try and go a bit quicker, or are you just saving your energy and cruising down, just holding off and keeping their placings as they are?
Yeah. I mean, Tuva is also coming from a water sports family, all her sisters competing and sharing the same passions, and it's also amazing to see her parents fully behind her. I mean, obviously, if you don't get support from your family and the people closest to you, it's obviously also tough to do this sport, So it's really amazing to see this kind of team effort, let's say.
Yeah, sometimes it's easiest as the younger sibling, For Hella and Tia, her older sisters, they've really led the way for Tuva, and now she just seems to be taking it all in her stride and pushing on.
Definitely. Absolutely cruising. Going downwind, entering the jibe. Oh, yeah, safe one, good one. No touchdown.
So all nice and safe. We can't see where Tamar and Darcy are. They're probably not too far behind, but with good, big gaps between them. Between 3rd and 4th, we've got 250 meters. It's crazy on a small lake like this because of the number of maneuvers required to do around the course, tacks and jibes, actually how separated they can get.
Absolutely.
As we follow her in. I think she's probably doing, I'm going to say she's doing over 25 knots now. The wind seems to have come down a little bit. The water's a bit more streaky as we look at it, with some dark patches where even the white horse is coming off the back of those waves, and then some really glassy patches where it doesn't look like there's as much wind.
I mean, from above, it never looks windy, you know. We know this issue. You're showing someone an image, oh my God, it's been so windy, it's been so windy. And then you show image from above and it seems like no wind at all. But yeah.
Yeah,
That's not reality.
A good way to gauge how windy it is often where their foot position is.
Yes.
So as we look at Tuva, she's trying to go nice and low, but when it gets windier, their back foot might creep a bit more into the middle of the board, whereas when it's a bit lighter winds, their foot's out in the foot strap as they're just trying to go full send.
Exactly.
She pulls on her sail, flattens the sail up for a little bit of control on this final reach, and she looks to hold off Tamar and take the win.
Yes, I mean, if nothing happens, she's pretty safe and approaching that final meters. Oh yes, I think she's absolutely loving it. I mean, when you're leading with such a distance, it's just great to cross, you know, the line. Oh yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Tuva Oppedal just won the race, followed by Tamar Steinberg. Tamar also has been super consistent during this week, huh?
Yeah, I think we're likely to see after that race some place changes, with Tamar taking the lead of the event and Tuva probably into third, with Maya Geisler dropping down to second for now. She's Gisley, sorry. We'll try and pronounce her name properly. And then as we see now, Darcy Shaw coming across, British youth, really building up that scorecard as she climbs up the fleet as well. She'll probably be top 6 now.
Yeah, exactly.
As we see all the girls filtering down. That's in 5th place. Lola Sorin. So she's on it. Sophia might be a little bit behind the Italian girl because it wasn't about going to the left early in that race. She was in there. French invasion.
Yeah, the
from
French
5 to 9 here.
Crossing,
and it looks like Lena Erzin has just had an unbelievable final reach, just gaining 3 places in that final reach to the line. That's why it's so important to stay switched on and keep sending it. Oh, you know, I've just had it through my ear that she was black flag, so this result isn't counting for her, unfortunately.
Oh,
but it's,
what
you
a
know,
bummer.
It looks good on the camera. That's all I care about.
I mean, sometimes that's part of the game, unfortunately. That might have been
that's
a bit
Sophia
of
Renner just crossing the line there. Looked like in 18th. Difficult one, but it shows how tactically important sailing on this lake is. And now as we look back, we see that start coming away.
Beautiful
and
start of the ladies.
And we can see Darcy Shaw down the bottom of the fleet already cutting out to that right-hand side. And that was where the initial gain was for her and Tuva, and allowed them to round the mark in 1 and 2. Tuva just squeezes over, a little bit of pumping and a little bit more
that
speed.
was exciting. That was a very exciting moment of this race.
You know, with the pumping as we approach that mark, it's about managing your energy levels. The girls have got another 3 races today. 5 races is a killer.
Yes.
Actually just being smart, getting the scores on the board, and then doing that time on the uphill, sailing as efficiently and easy as possible to get yourself a nice consistent scorecard and hopefully get some wins in there as well.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what that might change, you know, in the current ranking, because I mean Maya, as we just said, she was quite a bit behind.
Yeah, I never saw her in the top 10 in that race. She's obviously having some difficult ones, but
I mean, some of the girls, I think they might be dropping a little bit in their position. Some others are moving up. So very interesting one.
You feel cruel as the commentator. That's how I describe it. You know, we've interviewed Maya before the start of the day, and yes, she's had a great week. But in this class, if you get the basics right, if you really stick in those starts and that first decision point, you know, suddenly what has been, you know, not a great week, you can just put a load of top scores in, and likewise, you can go the other way.
Exactly.
In the men's fleet, Andy Brown, that hasn't happened just yet. He got in the 4th in the last one, but it's so easy for it all to go wrong.
Absolutely.
We're watching them now on the shore. That's Lucy Belbioch sat on the shore with her coach Nicholas Huguet. Obviously, talking about the decisions. It's so easy to be frustrated. Hopefully, it's not too animated or too stressed, because the girls and boys are all so tired and struggling for oxygen here on the mountains as they cut after the finish.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's already a pretty big physical challenge to be racing here, especially one race after the other, let's say. Your body needs to work double and triple as much as it would, so as it would usually. So being in a very good physical preparation can make the difference in the end here.
Yeah, it's all about keeping it going and doing all those intervals on the rowing machine as they get ready. We now look at down at the committee boat, our little grey aluminium platform, which we see we see the yellow flag flying, which means we've got within 3 minutes to start, and standing up our race officer Ava Jodlowska. She's obviously the class representative and has supported the growth of the class and how it's developed, so that we're running fun, fast, safe racing, and actually it's making a real spectacle.
Exactly, and then we see, I think it's also Emmy and Eva, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
Emilio is on there as well. I think Ben van der Steen, gun sales and PWA specialists, for a long time. He's on the pin end, watching them and controlling that. And that flag we've just seen go up now, that is the U flag, the white and red flag, which suggests they're not allowed to go over the line. If they do sail over the line, there's no reprieve. They can't sail round the end and undo their bad moment or the badness, and they've got to hope if they are over the line that we have a general recall that allows them to re-enter the race.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
and it's
important
why in the previous race we saw the UFD
exactly.
for Lena Rosen.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been a pill to swallow for her, poor girl. I mean, she even did the whole race and everything.
Yeah, I think, but in the past they used to pull people out of the race if you were over the line, but it's not fair here, because actually if you got pulled out just after the start, you would save a lot of energy. Okay.
So let's maybe have a look at the current rankings of the men. Yeah, in first position, Max Kastelein from the Netherlands. In second position, actually, Andy Brown. I mean, he entered this morning in first place. So we already got some changes going on here, some exciting changes.
Yeah, and Finn Hawkins entered in sixth, and now he's in third.
Same amount of points, 18. Yeah, no, sorry, 64 and 58, actually. Well, still quite close.
The real loser of today so far is Leonardo Tomasini, but it's not all on one race. We shortly got the start coming up. I think we've got about 45 seconds to the start of the next race. As they get ready, the men will be splitting, choosing their side, and now reaching along the line as they look to get that perfect start.
I mean, those course racing starts, they're just every time so exciting. So what is going to happen? Who is choosing which sides, Yeah, is nobody going to have a crash?
I get my Britwatch eyes on, and I can see Andy Brown, sixth board on port. He's just underneath the group, maybe shy of a collision, but not on the front row. But yeah, it's going to be very tight as they approach the starboard end with all those port tack boards trying to get up off the start.
Let's see.
So they start bearing away, and then they hook up and explode, and the pumping of the sails, I described it as the big leg press of the board. They just go as hard as they can.
Showtime.
Seems like Finn Hawkins got away reasonably well off the middle of the line. And Leonardo Tomasini, opposite tactics. He started on port, the furthest to the left in the last race, and now he's on starboard, the furthest to the right. It's just, maybe he should have been at the casino the other night.
We actually saw a crash down there. I'm not sure what happened exactly, as I've just seen it out of the corner of my eye. I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, it's very easy. The guys, they're just focusing on what's in front of them and trying to get forward rather than looking backwards. So as they filter through, I described it as like them on a motorway going at each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, just one's got caught out. So hopefully, no gear damage, and they can.
And no person damage also.
And no person damage. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, everybody wants to push a lot on that starting line. Sometimes a little bit too much, maybe, and then those things can happen. But as you say, it just can happen really, really quickly. Interesting.
As we look at the tracking, it's suggesting the guys that started on the port end are doing quite well. But now they've completed the tack. Leonardo Tomasini looks like he's in a good position again. He's pumping really hard, trying to get his angle going up as high as possible. And for those wondering who that is, he's the most furthest down on the screen, going from top to bottom to the right-hand side of the lake. So he's got a good cross coming up with Thomas Berner, and he's chose to duck behind, keep the speed, and now just make it keep going. I think he's approaching Duncan Monaghan. Oh, that's Max Beeman of Falmouth, Cornwall, who just crosses just behind. It's good to see him having a nice race. Max is known for his big explosions. I think that's probably the kind way. We've had a few big port starboard crashes on the starts, but it looks like he's doing nicely for now. And we focus on Max Kastelein as he tacks in front of the fleet. So he's just looking to keep his wing clear and get himself back to the right-hand side of the course. Yeah. Yeah. Now we just go in a bit more, Lauren. Yeah. Okay. So Max has got a really good defensive cover of over Joost Vink and Eli lifting. Eli just jumped up the results. But now, we've might have lost some connection here. A few little challenges. But the guys are halfway up the beat going towards the right-hand side. And hopefully we'll get the pictures back shortly so we can continue. Yeah, that was, so we're in the middle of the second race for the boys. I think we'll just go through some results of the girls while we wait to get our pictures back. You might still be able to see them, though. Okay. Okay, we will get there.
Oh, all right. It stays exciting, definitely for everyone, especially for us.
Yeah, no, we're not so far. Maybe we'll see it shortly. But they're coming up and approaching the windward mark. It will all be about who can complete that tack and stay in the breeze.
Exactly. I mean, racing is in full swing. This is already, several races on its way. And it will stay exciting until the very end because the guys are very, very close and the level is just so incredible high.
Okay. Cool. We have our pictures back, so we're able to get back in. Looks like Leonardo Tomasini is leading. He obviously had to do another hitch out to the left, but he's tacked maybe just under the ley line, but pumping as hard as he can. Dominik Lewinsky, great race in the last one after a tough opening series, is also there. He's probably going to be around in 6th. And it looks like, is that Max Beer Monster? Yeah, it is. Max Beerman, great. He's full send. He's round in 2nd, which means probably some challenges for some of the other guys. David Druder has a good one. Michal Polak. And actually, Finn Hawkins is still in 5th, which is good to see for him building a consistent scorecard. It's so easy to make some tiny little mistakes and it will be over. Okay. We also see Andy Brown in shot. He's just made the jibe, round in about 6th place right now. Not 100% on the tracking scores. I've just seen Eli lifting jibing. Maybe his track has turned off, but he's also on this downwind, well placed.
All right, and Leonardo extending his lead, going downwind. Yeah, I mean, he looks very, very fast, huh?
Yeah, this shows the difference in the tactics. What did Leonardo get in the last race? He started on port in that one, and it all seemed to go wrong for him. He ended up with a 15th place, and now suddenly change of tactics. Yeah, maybe he's rolled the dice the other way, but I hope his coach Dario's probably not given that advice. But yeah, starting on top, getting out to the left-hand side, and he is flying.
I mean, Leonardo actually won many races within this week, and that was for sure also a big motivational boost for him, like seeing, okay, my speed is there, my mindset is there, I'm very well prepared. So obviously one bad race doesn't mean the end normally.
It's not the end, no. He's one of this young Azora, the Italians, they've got a amazing group of under-19s, under-21s right now. They're really dominating.
And many of them, sorry if I have to say and point it out, are actually from Lake Garda, training together, like really pushing each other, coming here together. And it's just amazing to see Leonardo here extending his lead. Yeah,
I'm sure many of those guys at both Cercolo Surf, the club of Nicola Renna, and also in Sardinia, the club of Olympic gold medalist Marta Maghetti, they will all be watching at the club right now, making the most and enjoying the Italians.
Everybody cheering for Team Italia at home. I mean, Italy is one of the countries where we like to cheer a lot, you know.
It's good. I think, this live stream is really about showcasing the sport to a bigger audience, but it's also everyone in windsurfing, so they really see what the Olympic sailing is and how it's developed. Leonardo is running first. Andy Brown has had an insane downwind. He just jibed in front of Max Beerman. Can he get
very
forward?
Close. Look.
Max is going to round in first, but Andy's going to try and come around the inside. He just killed a little bit of speed then to allow him to turn upwind a little bit tighter. David Durder hit a nice rounding, but Joost Vink, it's just a little bit of a low exit there. Okay.
All right, so the guys are making the way upwind again, while the rest of the fleet is approaching.
I think we saw a lot of changes on that downwind.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
real jumps forward from a few. Andy Brown went well forward, but we saw the likes of Finn Hawkins and Boris Shaw, GBR 319, go a bit backwards on that downwind. And that's so easy. You just end up out the side of the gust slightly, and another guy's going 4 knots quicker than you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a moment where you can lose a lot of meters immediately. That's right.
A 4 touchdown tack there from Leonardo, not bad. He's still full planning. It's certainly a lot better on our manoeuvres and for most of the coaches. And Max Beeman.
Bumping it up and straight away again.
Yeah, Max gets a little bit more into the corner than Leonardo to try and keep his wing clear. And now he's off on his way out to the left-hand side. Looks like Andy Brown might have gone tacked a bit earlier, and he's going to try and attack the other way to put Leonardo under pressure.
I mean, you know, sometimes when you see these guys, you just forget how young they are. I mean, as you just mentioned before, obviously we are at the U23 World Championships, you know. But Leonardo, for example, he's only 17. And I believe he has a very bright future in front of him.
Yeah,
you know, being already on such a high level, it's amazing.
No, it's really, really good, and they'll only learn with experience. You know, he had one bad race, but he's put it behind him, and let's see what he can keep bringing for the rest of the races. And yeah, Andy Brown is underneath. He's probably the old man of the fleet, isn't he?
I mean, I believe he might be not happy if he hears that, you know?
Old
man.
I could have been a lot worse,
better,
you know?
like wine, you know? Everybody just gets better like wine, like fine wine.
Andy is certainly had his moments. He was a good RSX sailor, but young, and then was dominant in the iQFOiL in the start of 22, but it seems just slipped a little bit. But actually a refocus, change of some of the people he's training with, and a little bit more coaching has helped him reflect a bit more on how he's going to sail, what he's trying to do to keep it simple, and it seems to be showing and delivering some consistent results.
Yes, and I mean, for everybody who's not aware, Leonardo is actually the current European champion. He won in Embrun. So, I mean, there's a reason why he's there, and there's a reason why he's also, again, leading, you know, so it's not that it comes out of nowhere.
Seems like every other youth event is a different one between Leonardo and Federico Poloni. It's one of the two, isn't it?
Yes.
But yeah, those boys are dominant, and it's good to see they're coming through. Yeah, we see Max on screen now, Max Beeman from St Maur's, Cornwall. He's a giant. He's long, he's tall, and he can go really, really well up in these conditions, upwind, and he loves Silver Plana. It's always the event he wants to be at. His dad's here. He's been winging every day. You know, they just love being here and making the most of it.
I mean, I believe most of the riders, they actually came already mid of last week, like a couple of days before, actually, to train here, to adapt to the place, to adapt to the thin air, you know.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. And so, yeah, who got very well prepared is definitely in favor right now.
Yeah, I caught up with Max. He actually arrived, I think, 9 days early, arrived the Saturday before.
Oh, wow.
And he also saw the real Silver Plana, and actually how many people are out here making the most of the conditions. The top half of the lake is actually restricted use right now for us to have for the iQFOiL Championships.
Yes.
But you can see hundreds of kiters, hundreds of wingers.
Super busy always.
Even more windsurfers that it's crazy. And you know, and there's some of the superstars as well. It was really nice to see Balls Muller out yesterday. He was throwing some moves down by the committee boat.
Also this morning, actually, I think I've seen him.
Probably. I mean, you know, he certainly puts his time in on the foil, and that's why he is so good. Okay,
Yes.
We've got Eli lifting. He's actually come up to third, and Andy Brown gone fourth. And then Michal Polak, cool move. He was under the ley line and did like almost a fake tack to bring himself a bit further up to get him around the line. He lost all his speed at the mark, which we can see reflect in his speeds right now on the screen. But he's round in fifth place, and can he hold on?
Michal also had a very good week, actually, so far. A lot of first places, and never really outside the top 10, except one time, I think. So, really, really good.
Him and Max were close. You know, it was a close battle for them in yesterday's racing in the qualifying. They were in the same group, so not everyone can win every race, but they were basically sharing it as the day went on. But now with Goldfleet, it's completely different. You know, sound like a bad person. Almost you're trying to pick on that person you think you're going to roll. In the Goldfleet, there's not many people you can pick on and start next to hope you're going to easily get off the line.
True.
So it's very, very difficult, which is why we see up and down results. You know, Andy's having a great one. Leonardo had a poor one, and then he's having an amazing one winning this race. And Max Castellin is quite a way off. He was leading going in, but now he's in 8th place, so he'll be going crazy downwind trying to catch up. Ooh, close cross by Andy Brown then. Yeah, I think Eli obviously, he was on port tack, so he
God.
had to keep clear, and it was just a lot closer than he ever expected there. You know, you saw his surprise. on the shot.
Interesting to see. I mean, Leo's ground speed right now is about 24 knots, 25. Yeah, I mean, he's approaching his final reach, right?
Yeah, they're just out of the jibe. You can be a little bit slow, and then as they bring their angle up slightly, the speed will build. Goodness me, I've lost my
We're
marbles
also
here.
excited. We're also
Yeah,
very
exactly.
excited.
And yeah, Leonardo he's made his jibe. He's now on the final reach. Approaching the final reach, but he's got no pressure, no one behind him. Max is well clear, so he could enjoy this. Enjoy the victory, but also get ready for the next race, 'cause it's never over.
Absolutely, because I mean, after the race is just before the next race, right?
Yeah, they got 15 minutes off to refuel,
Oh yes.
rehydrate. He'll celebrate for a little bit, and then.
Entering the line with one-handed, so totally relaxed.
And as we look back at Silverplana camping, I'm sure his coach will be sat there on the bench. He's been holding station. He'll be providing a bit of feedback. Or very close
Coach
there.
Dario.
I think Andy Brown just made it, but that was incredibly close between him and Eli lifting. He went for it on the final one. Was that? Ooh, I don't know if that was Max Castellan had pulled up that much. If he had, that was amazing. No, I think Max is coming in here in eighth. But lots of Polish and David Dreda, the Czech, in through. He's had a really consistent day. A bit of an unknown, really. You know, but the Czechs pulling forwards.
He's been actually also like racing a lot in slalom before. Other windsurfing disciplines, so PWA. I've seen him actually also competing in Italy at the 1 hour other competitions in Lake Garda. So another all-round discipline windsurfing waterman.
Yeah, it's just part of the game, isn't it? I think we can see Duncan Monaghan going through the line just there.
And some race recaps coming in. Beautiful start. Look at this.
Cool.
It's just amazing at the start, you know, when there is so much going on and you don't really know where to look actually, and everybody's pumping and going full power. So that's pretty cool.
So, yeah, it was a really difficult race. You know, Leonardo obviously started on starboard and set off, and he was on the lead from the start pretty much.
Yeah.
There was guys
Super
who had their
comfortable.
moments in the right. You know, Andy Brown, Max Bierman, Max Castelline, but there was also some craziness up at the top of that upwind that made it a little bit difficult to hold your position.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it was a quite comfy race for Leo actually, leading the whole time. Yeah. All right. So we're going into one more race today, right?
Yeah, so I think you know they've got a few more, but for us we're going to be showing one more race for the women. They will be going to sequence shortly.
Let's have a look one more time of the race results, I would say. So in first place, Leonardo Tomasini from Italy with a quite extensive lead actually since the beginning. And then obviously you might be happy.
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, it's good. It's nice to see the Brits
Max and
doing
Andy
well.
Brown from the UK.
Yeah, so that's those boys done well. Eli Lifting actually took a different approach around the leeward mark and got the fourth. Him, Andy have had a really good day so far, and they will be holding up in the top three here. I think Finn Hawkins obviously missing from that top 10, so he'll be dropping down. And the other, you know, good notable results at the bottom, and they're going to be bringing themselves back in. Manolo Medina, he had a amazing slalom day on the first day, but struggled on the course racing. But it's good to see him find his groove. And Dominic Lewinsky, you know, another top 10. He'll probably be in the top 15 now, which is really good.
Exactly. I mean, this is also the point that we discussed before, you know, the being a good all-round competitor. So not only your mindset, not only your physical strength, but being able also to perform in the different formats.
All the
so
disciplines.
it's not enough to be only good in slalom, but you need to be able to pull off the show also in course racing, for example. You know,
Course
so it's
racing,
really
marathon, light winds, strong winds. And we're now
Yes.
approaching the start. It's looking like probably a 60-40 split on port this time, favouring. So we've got a lot of the girls looking to get that right early. We've got one windsurfer out in front of those port tackers. He's escaping quickly so he doesn't join
I
in.
would also escape quickly if I would be in that position. I mean, that's for sure.
And as they go down, they're aiming a little bit below the committee boat, which is going to allow those guys on starboard coming towards them to just cross in front and keep their rights. Okay. A little bit of a late hookup
left.
for some,
Ooh.
which has allowed them to go for it. I think we see Maya Geisler being one of the first, and France 11. I think that's Marion Cotier. Well, they've got a kiter in there as well. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, busy
But
days on the lake.
even though they cross from the port end initially, actually the guys on starboard up the top have done well. So it looks like it's definitely Tamar Steinberg.
Yes.
It's Barbara Skakova and a Polish sailor just to windward of her. Okay.
I mean, Tamara, I'm not sure from our angle if she's actually leading or she's second. I think right now she's actually leading this race. And if I'm not mistaken, she must be leading also the current ranking now.
Yeah, I think she's taken the lead. She's had a really solid day so far, and actually just got to keep the pressure on. And we see her keep bearing her way her angle, building more speed, and then coming up and putting the pressure on the girls above her. Okay, Lola Sorin was first to tack out the right. She's crossed past most of those girls so far, so she'll be the one to watch for now, coming from that right-hand side.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who have we got? I see some different names in here right now. I think we've got, from Poland, we've got Pola Wawrinsiak. She's actually in third right now, probably. She's just up on that right hand of the screen. Really nice. Anyone can have a chance in this race. The speed difference between the girls is pretty similar. You know, sometimes the wind is different, as we see Tamar sail out the wind and it looked like the other girls gain on her. But actually, if you execute your start, you can be in it. Max Biermann's result in the last one is another example of that.
All right, and then we see Lola Sorin, France 31, absolutely cruising.
Yeah, she's got a good push here and a really nice drive. She's got her back foot out the strap, and she's just trying to sail for a little bit more height, which might suggest that angle back across isn't the best, as she's trying to go as high as she can. Okay, important crosses coming up. Lola has crossed Tamar Steinberg. Okay, so she's likely winning this race because she will cross in front of Barbara and the Polish, who are further to the right.
Very interesting one, huh?
But I see behind, we've got another French or Italian girl right by the shoreline. They'll have an option, and I think it's Darcy Shaw in the middle who's also looking very good. Sorry, it's Alice Reed looking very good.
All right, so Lola didn't have the best tech. A little bit of a touchdown, but now
yeah,
she's
and when you
going
kill
on the
your
other
speed
side.
like that, you then have to bear away a lot, and you're just losing that upwind ground.
Yeah, exactly. And it takes you a little bit again to pump, to take up the foil in the air. So
nice foil tack by Darcy Shaw. That allows her to just get upwind of Manon Pianazza and control the race back to that right-hand side where chasing after Lola.
Oh, yes, here we go. And up we go, that uphold rope in your hand.
That looked a bit ragged.
That was red, yeah.
Yeah, it's
powerful, very powerful. Let's say it like
powerful.
this.
And Lucy Belbioch, I think she probably went to the left but didn't have the best start in the world, so went to the right early. And, you know, whoever keeps digging into the right seems to come out richer every time. And she just came in a little bit later, which is why she's now winning the race.
Yeah, seems like it. All right, so the girls are going upwind, approaching that upwind mark, getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it seems like we've had a little bit of a left shift, and Darcy's just getting lifted up a little bit higher, and Lucy, so they're aiming nice and high, and they're likely to cross Tamar, who I don't think is going to be making the ley line.
Let's see. It's going to be exciting. It can be just maybe very close, but maybe it's not enough.
Yeah, so Darcy crossed in front, nearly a foil tack, but touched down and stalled, which will hold her back a little bit, but it's really dependent on how the other girls. One of the surprises of this race, I know she gets better as every race goes on, is Elena Sandera. Depending on where the tack was, you know, it says she's winning right now. She's got a tack to complete, so she'll probably drop behind. But she's really managed to find some space on this beat and get herself going nice and forward. Looks like leading into the mark, we've got Darcy, who's low on the ley line. Maybe she'll make it, maybe she won't. Lucy Belbioch, who's doing well. And
it stays exciting.
And Maya Gisley is in third.
I think she makes it. She makes it, look.
Yeah, I think Darcy, because she's pumping up and up and up. The light's amazing as well. Yeah, she's made it round. So we've got Lucy Belbioch in first. We've got Darcy Shaw in second. And
there was
an Estonian girl.
Estonia, I think. Yeah, right. I mean, that must have been Emma, right?
Yeah, that'll be Emma. You know, she's new. She's probably been in the class for a year and a half, 2 years. Come out of a really nice program run by Matt Rickard. and his partner out in Estonia, and they've brought a really good fleet of sailors together. We've got Axel in the boys and all their giants, but actually in the girls they're doing really nicely too, which is good to see.
When you see some fresh names popping up, it's always exciting.
I
You
think
know,
it's
some new and fresh talents coming up. This is it's cool.
The more people who can compete, the better the sport's going to be. And
Exactly.
one of the best things about this Silver Plana under 23 Worlds is actually we've got 35 nations competing.
Yeah, that's
for
great.
for 148 competitors, and that's crazy when you've got big teams of the French, the Brits,
People
the
coming
Spanish,
from all
the
over the
Dutch,
world,
but you've
Australia
got
and New Zealand. I mean, some of the competitors, they had to travel from very, very far. I mean, they've been in Europe maybe before, training in different places. But it's amazing when an event can unify so many different nations. And this is obviously also something that this class is all about, right?
Yeah, it's about giving everyone the chance. You know, it's not necessarily, this is a shoreside event, so there's no coach boats on the water, which is why there's no rib wake, there's no disturbance, no one getting in the way, which puts everyone pretty much on an even playing field and gives them the chance to get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, what other nations have we got here that are really doing well?
All right, so currently in the lead, there is actually France 18. So that's actually Lucy Belbioc.
Yeah, she's
She's
really
looking
extended
very
here on this
comfortable.
downwind.
Yeah,
Looking good.
crazy. I mean,
Uh,
seems like the downwind part is really actually her strong part, right?
I don't know. It seems she obviously was having a very, very good first race and disappeared, and then she's come back in. The one who's had a good one there, so we just saw a bit of a weird situation. Darcy Shaw went for a jibe, but then realised that coming straight at her on starboard tack with rights of way was Maya Gizde. And so actually she had to do a bit of a weave back, and Maya could just jibe in front of her and take the position. Tamara's also capitalised and tried to jibe on side, and she's soaking down for this mark. So yeah, Lucy's well away. She's leading the front, but this is a really nice shot as we see how they look to get on the inside to have that right away around the mark, but then bring a nice high exit. So Darcy takes her time behind the other girls and then tries to come out, and they'll pump like crazy.
Oh, look how close the girls are, though, from the 2nd to the 5th position. Oh my God, that's
yeah,
exciting.
really tight, and they're
Oof.
pumping really fast reps, trying to keep the board high on the foil, but also keep the speed on.
Oh, but this is how we love it, right? When we see the girls just like maybe 2 to maximum 3 board lengths in distance from each other, that's amazing.
And this, you know, this is a real, like, they were so close at that point, but you can see Tamar's had a really good angle exit, and she's up, and she's almost forcing up and really affecting the sailing of Darcy from GBR and Emma from Estonia behind her. And that's when they can extend.
Exactly.
That dirty wind comes off a sail, and it's why, you know, they're so tight initially, and then it gets quite separated because they've got to be in clean wind to be doing their top speed.
I mean, Lucy already tacked.
Yep.
Changed the side, going now on the left-hand side of the lake.
Tamar's had to tack to allow Maya to tack as well, because you can't just run someone into the shoreline. And Darcy, just on the edge of the screen, did complete the full foil tack. So she's also now got an exit angle and a lane. So these three are going to be drag racing out as fast as they can, hoping to catch Lucy, but be that second place.
Oh, yes. Beautiful image of the girls going ahead.
It's great to see Maya's back in it as well. She's had 2 really disappointing races on those first 2 today, but actually she's been able to refresh, reset herself, and bring herself back in for the racing, and she's back where she wants to be.
Look, a relaxed wave at the camera, the drone. Amazing. She's feeling pretty comfortable. That's great. Great to see.
I think it's Lucy's actually, she's one of the older sailors, but, you know, her parents are involved in windsurfing, but she's done a really good job of, you know, making a profile for herself, but also actually, you know, generating sponsors and getting the support. She's got car sponsors, she's got all sorts. I think there's, you know, even supermarket sponsors and stuff. And so actually she knows that you have got to make the most of the camera and enjoy the interviews and really...
Exactly. You know. So you need to be a pro on and off the water, you know, also media-wise. That's for sure. That's helping.
It's, you know, the equipment, the travel costs, everything. You need to build that support team around you. And some of it is in sponsorship, and it's how you use the media to help build your image.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, she got the experience. She's one of the, let's say, more mature girls, not older girls, but more mature girls here.
Yeah, she's really and
she knows what she does.
But it's, you know, I think windsurfing's in the blood there. And, you know, same for Darcy Shaw. She's one of 4. Boris is racing in the boys. Younger brother Milo is also in the juniors competitive. You know, a lot of these guys have really got the support networks around them, even if that's just people to go training with.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, windsurfing or water sports in general are a family business, that's for sure. Or at least, you know, family business, or you grow up close to the ocean with some clubs where you grow up and stuff. It's not that you went to windsurfing just like this most of the times, let's say.
I think it's different in every country, but certainly in Italy and in France, the club system is amazing, and it really makes a community around the sport, which is important. And
exactly,
it's nice to see. In terms of speed now, it looks like Lucy, she's one of the lighter girls in the fleet. Actually, she's had a great first beat, but the other girls might have a little bit of a speed edge, and Maya is slowly climbing on her. It's a bit like creeping death, but she's tacked inside, and if she can make the ley line, she's going to be in front. Lucy stalls a little bit that tack, which gives Darcy the attempt to foil tack in front of her, and she has she touched down, but she's come out really nicely, and Darcy Shaw will likely be in second now, with Tamar Steinberg desperate not to give away all the places, tacking inside, but it looks like those other girls are just going to roll round with a bit more speed.
I mean, Maya is actually leading again, right?
Yep, she's got good speed. Maya's leading. Darcy's in second.
And there
with
she goes.
Tamar and Lucy very close for third and fourth.
Oh, yes. So Maya Gisler back in shape, let's say, after the past two races.
Just a bit of a reset, isn't it?
Yes,
but we're on the halfway point of for these guys racing. And so actually, it's just keeping it going. We've got two more after this.
And there she goes. Direction downwind for her final reach. But still, there's that part to be done first.
Good position for Maya here. Actually, she's going in the same direction as everyone else. She's keeping herself between them and the mark. And when we're on the downwind like this, there is a bit of dirty wind off the sails. But if you've probably got a 15-metre bubble round you, maybe 10 metres, your wind's going to be clean enough to go nice and fast. So I don't think anyone's going to be popping her bubble right now.
Trying to catch her, but let me tell you something, Maya will not make it easy for the girls. She's hungry, she's saying that the other girls are fast, that's for sure, and it's tough, but she's not going to give that one away easily, especially not after that past two races.
We could see in that lovely close shot that actually she was then in both straps on the downwind, which generally allows you to take a bit more power of the sail and sheet it in a bit more to go a bit quicker. That might also be a sign that the wind's just dropped down a little bit. It also may be that she's just on full send mode and she's going to go so quick to defend her lead.
Yeah, true. I mean, also, you know, the famous Maloya wind, being a thermic wind, usually it kicked in quite early today, but then obviously the later it gets during the day, it starts to drop. And seeing that we are already later in the afternoon, it could be that it already dropped on those parts a little bit.
Yeah, and so we saw them choosing different points. I think Maya's probably pretty set for the lead here, but Tamar's made an attacking move. She's gone beyond Darcy, and she's jibed down, and she's that girl to the right of the screen as we look, who's going to be looking to go on the inside, and she can take a risk and grab a space. So yeah, there's actually quite a distance between her and Darcy. She's probably overtaken her already.
Yeah.
But they've got to go to the right mark.
Oh, I have the feeling we will have a very, very exciting final reach. Oh my God. Ooh,
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so Maya just jibed. That was a very good jibe, actually. No touchdowns. Yeah.
And yeah, Tamar can sail a really nice deep angle on this downwind, and she's used it again to her advantage. She's climbed forward
as
in the
you
fleet
just
to
predicted.
second.
Oh yes, second position now.
Darcy is in third, with Lucy in fourth.
Okay, and there we go. Final reach for Maya.
Lovely shot. We see the pink board. These are the boards from the Paris-Marseille Olympics, and I think a lot of the girls are trying to get their hands on them at the moment. It's certainly the new girls' fleet boards have the pink back.
And there we go. Oof. And Maya actually just won this race. Congratulations.
Race of the day.
Done.
Solid from Tamar and Darcy. It means that Tamar will stay in the lead of the event, and Darcy, I think, will be climbing up to probably fourth place overall now.
Yes.
We've
seen a lot of changes throughout this race, huh?
Yeah.
It's an amazing one.
I think it's a long day. Consistency is really important. It's really hard to just go and get 5 first, you know.
Exactly. Consistency and adaptation is the key. What you just said in the beginning. So
Alice Reed comes through for another top 10. And the Czechs, I think we've had 4 Czechs in the top 10 in this race, so not a bad race for them.
Yeah, I mean the Czech team, the Polish and the French team, and also the Italian, they're very big teams here actually, with a lot of girls competing.
I think they're bringing girls from all different ages. You know, the Italian teams, I know they've got Francesca Salerno, and she's, 15 years old? She could be a junior, but they're here racing to gather this experience against some of the best ladies in the world.
I mean, this is actually how you improve the most, huh? Like training and competing to people who are older than you with more experience. That's where you learn the most. That's
Yeah,
for
Lucy
sure.
for sure is the most experienced. And then, yeah. And we look at the race, we see how, you know, so Lucy had a really nice lead, but actually that close competition in the gaps of 2 to 5 pushed them on to go as quick as they possibly could, get a bit of separation so then they could jump past Lucy and lock in the win for Maya Gisler.
So much beautiful action we've seen today. Oh my God, it keeps just getting exciting and being exciting on and off the water. It's amazing to see everybody ripping.
And the shots are so nice, the water's so clear, and you know, they're so light blue, it's unreal. And now we have the results from that race. Maya's obviously had a great one, and then as I look down, Nella Sadalakova, she's had a nice result that will bring her a bit closer to the top 10, and yeah, I think they're probably the big standouts from that one. So no, nice to see the girl Maya get us back on top and build some confidence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, pretty good mindset, you know, having 2 not so good races and then get yourself back together again and getting another victory. It's great to see.
And now we look at the men's results after 2 races of the final series, so 11 races in total. After that one and his 4th place, Andy Brown is leading. He's got a 5-point lead over Max Castelline in 2nd, with Eli Lifting in 3rd. It's still tight, you know. What's Finn Hawkins in 7th place with 38 points, so 17 points separates that. And then as we look down to that critical cut point, you know, it's not that far off with David Derder holding up the top 10, but with Thomas Bernat and Hidden van der Meer not too far behind.
I think David was definitely one of the guys standing out today, right? Being more consistent and surprising.
Yeah, just nice, safe racing. Probably not safe racing at all, but it's the super consistent results. And then in the girls, we see how Tamar has the lead. Maya would have closed up. Well, she will close up a little bit, but it's not bad. And who knows where Tuva Oppendahl was in that last race? I didn't see her.
Yeah, true.
But, you know.
Maybe we can have a talk later at the beach and understand what happened and talk to the girls also to get some insights from the water. All right, that was it. Oh my God, that was so exciting. Amazing to see the girls and also the guys, ladies and gents, ripping out there. That was it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. The forecasts are looking amazing for tomorrow. And please make sure to stay tuned, follow the live stream, follow our channels, and get ready for some more action. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.